So there's 100 episodes. That means 100 hours, basically, if you round it to an hour per episode. What would you have done if we weren't podcasting for 100 hours?
Nothing. I would have just drank more beer than I should have.
It's not even possible. I mean, you drink during the podcast, so I feel like you're already
but
doing
I would have
that.
had a little more time to drink instead of talk, so I would have drank for those extra seconds in between. Like the time I was talking on the podcast, so I would have drank and just watched a little more football. I mean, I don't do shit I'm a dad, so this is like my life now.
Maybe you'd go to the gym and you could work on that dad bod.
Oh, no chance. No chance I go to the gym. No fucking chance.
Nice. Well, since you're drinking and
you pussy.
I'm not. I literally can't.
Mm-hmm.
Lads, get loaded for the 100th time. Welcome to the 100th edition of the Loaded Box Podcast.
Well, we never finished first because we finished last.
100 times and counting.
I'm a little upset that we didn't discuss like the intro because
No,
whatever
we
that
didn't.
one sucked.
What sucked?
Your intro.
Why?
What was it? I couldn't even hear it.
I don't know. Just tunes.
Like, what we should have done is gone with trophies because it's our 100th episode. And they ain't got no awards for that, you know?
Gotta keep it 100. Stay woke.
Yeah. Well,
Did I do that right?
We should have thought about it a little bit, you know?
No,
we just kind of went into it.
that's
and now
not
we
us.
don't plan.
That's not us. We don't plan.
Yeah, we plan songs.
Sometimes, not often.
God, here we are stuck watching the worst football game of the year and the most meaningless week of the year.
Yeah, and I need to apologize in advance because my cough button recently broke. So, and I've got a cold, so we might have a couple of coughs to go along with your beer burps.
How was the tree in your house?
Excuse me. Sorry. What was that?
Jesus Christ! How is the tree? There is a cough button. It's called the mute button on Hangouts.
Mine just broke. Mine just broke.
I don't believe that. But how is the tree? How's the tree in your house?
Yep. Fiance decided to have a party on a Wednesday. Fucking crazy.
Got the club going, huh?
Christmas tree didn't make it.
What the fuck are you guys even doing?
Christmas tree is snapped, so.
Is she not working or what?
No. Just fucking relaxing, apparently partying on a Wednesday, so.
She's not walking, she's working.
Walking and working. Well, if you haven't caught on by now, this is our 100th episode. Congratulations to DJ. I literally didn't think you'd make it this long. I thought your beer burps, whatever that is that's going on inside of your stomach, I thought that would have killed you by now.
Oh, you'll hear like 17 of those tonight. I haven't had beer for a week. I've been counting since I got my tooth ripped out of my mouth.
Yeah. You're going to be all buzzed up then.
We're back, baby!
Nice. Do you have anything else you want to...
tomorrow.
You don't work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be a shit show.
I'm going to be honest before we get into this. I forgot to say this. I may answer every question with Aaron Rodgers for the 100th episode. Like, who knows? It's up in the air.
All right, let's test it. Which NFL player is the worst quarterback in Packers history?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is the real answer to that?
Fucking TJ Rubley.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
They've only had legends, like starting anyways, like during our lifetime.
He had to come into a game when Brett Favre got hurt, and it was the worst. He was a third-string quarterback. It was the worst performance I've ever seen in my entire life. He was like 95.
He would have been the 5th best Dolphins quarterback since Dan Marino.
Probably.
Well, let's kick it off with some against the spread picks. Big news of the week is your drought has ended. Your well-thought-out picks have officially beat your Embrace the Suck picks. So we're giving you at least a week off there. You went 2-1. Feeling pretty good? You think the momentum's going to continue to roll? Did you like this week? Is it a tough week?
I felt really good about my picks, as I said, going into it. They felt right, so I was really confident. I'm just a little disappointed that my Embrace the Suck, which have been pretty much unstoppable,
really, they have been.
Kind of failed. So that sucked.
I bet they're clipping over 70%.
Oh, they're feeling it right now.
Yeah. So 1-2 though. 1-2 though last week. So it came to an end. It might come back. Just like another segment of this podcast this week, it might come back. So let's kick it off. You're on fire. You're 2-1 last week. That's what all you need to do every single week is go 2-1. You're guaranteed cash. So what do you got this week?
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start off here with the LA Rams.
LA Rams.
Plus 2.5. What?
I'm just repeating you.
Don't fucking say shit while I'm talking.
100th
LA
episode.
Rams plus 2.5 at Seattle. This is the start. Really, this is this is gonna be. I know they play at 3, so it's after Green Bay, but it's the start of the Green Bay magic. Seattle goes down. Green Bay already has that tiebreaker against them. The Rams are gonna come into Seattle and just blow their doors off in this game. They have no secondary. Blake Bortles just torched them. Can't imagine what Jared Goff's going to do against them. Probably with Robert Woods back in this game. It sounds like he's going to be back. They have no secondary. Their fucking D-line is a bunch of little bitches. They fight with everybody.
They do.
I think Goff's going to have plenty of time to pick that secondary apart. And they can't stop the run in general. So they just have a combination of multiple things that they can do against this team. Plus a solid defense who should be getting to Russell Wilson a lot, just like the who was it this last week? The Jaguars did.
Yep.
Maybe not as good as defense, but still pretty damn good. I think the Rams come in and I have my bold prediction, but I think they win this game.
Another thing you have going for you is probably the main weakness from the Rams defense is their performance against the run. And I don't really trust anyone on Seattle carrying the ball. Mm-hmm. They haven't really been able to prove it. They're just shuffling guys at this point.
It's all facts.
So that's a good one. What's your second pick?
Oh, I'm going again. Let's go. I'm going to go Tampa Bay plus 6 versus Atlanta.
Ooh, we've got a head-to-head matchup here.
Yeah, so this is a Monday night game, right?
It is.
So Tampa Bay is getting a little bit healthier. I feel like they're finally getting everybody healthy. Seemed like their D was starting to ramp it up this last week. And I feel like they want to prove, hey, we're not as bad as we were all season on primetime TV. So I think they come out fired up. They get this game at home versus Atlanta. This is wishful thinking as a Packer fan again, but I think they could go in there and full surprise upset against a very bad, which we saw last week on primetime, Matt Ryan. Terrible quarterback.
I wouldn't say terrible. Let's calm it down a little bit. Everyone has a bad game.
He's terrible. He's basically Joe Flacco, except he didn't win the Super Bowl. And I don't trust him. I think I trust Levante David just because he's out of Nebraska. So I think I like Tampa Bay a lot plus 6 here, so fuck you.
Noticing a trend here with your picks.
Yep.
A lot of wishful thinking. And honestly, if the Packers' luck continues to keep working, you're probably in store here. But this is why
I'm always right.
I'm on the opposite end of this one. This was one of my picks. I've got Atlanta. Tampa Bay, just a disappointing season. Even against the spread, they're only 3-9-1. Atlanta's only 6-7 against the spread, but their last 5, 4-1 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. So they've been getting a little bit better as Trevor Siemian's leaving on a golf cart in Thursday Night Football. I didn't see what happened, but it's probably the best thing possible for the team. So we saw the Buccaneers put up a good fight last week against Detroit. Only lost by a field goal. But Atlanta coming off big win against the Saints. They know they need to take care of the lesser opponent if they're going to make the playoffs. I actually think Atlanta wins this by double digits.
Double digits?
Double digits. Easy cover.
No chance. 6 points, isn't it? You think they only basically play the way Atlanta plays? It seems like 6 points is just kind of tickling and teasing you a little bit so that you'll go on that side of Atlanta.
Another thing that I would say, though, about the Bucs, it's it's at home, whatever. I don't know if, a home field advantage right now really exists for a team like Tampa. They don't have, the craziest fans anyways.
Like I said, man, they're out to prove something on primetime.
Maybe, but we got to disagree. What's your third one?
Yeah, I didn't want to get to this one. Why don't you go ahead and do your next one, your first or your next one?
Fair enough. I'm going to do a Saturday game. I've got the Chargers minus 1.5 at the Chiefs. Chargers, last 4 games, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the line. They're outscoring opponents over those games 131-53. They've just been hammering people. Chiefs last week ended that streak where they went 0-5 straight up and against the spread. They played a terrible Oakland team. Oakland's playing so bad right now. Chiefs are just 2-6 straight up and against the spread in their last 8. And literally, I think they won last week because they ran into a team that's struggling more than them. I like the Chargers here. I think they're going to probably end up pulling this division out. And 1.5, I feel like if it's less than 3.5, I'm taking the Chargers here.
I looked at this one. I didn't know what to think. It seems like Kansas City's starting to warm back up again, and that made me nervous. Is it Saturday?
That's a Saturday game, yep.
Fuck, I thought Saturday was 16 and 17.
There's two of this game. They're the Lions game
Oh,
Saturday
I'm
as
gonna
well.
be in fucking. I hate family Christmas so much. Well, it gives me a reason to ignore the fuck out of everybody. What
Nice.
time is that?
Ripping
I thought
on.
Saturday was 16 and 17.
No, I think it's one's at like 3 and one's at like 7.
I hate Christmas and family. I love Christmas. I hate family Christmas.
Nice. Christmas is literally about the family.
I like some of. I like my. It's hard to explain.
All right.
But I just prefer not to do it this way.
Well, draw us a picture. We'll break it down
hopefully
next
they don't
week.
listen to this podcast. Yeah, but I consider this, but like you said, not like you said, but the Kansas City's playing at home. They're warming up. I know you got all your stupid little 4-0 against straight up and 3-1 against the spread.
Yes.
Scoring opponents
Straight
by a bunch.
stats, homie.
But I mean, you said they just ended a streak, 0-5 straight up, and against the spread. It seems like they're heating up in the last couple of games. Their offense, they weren't good teams, but it's a good confidence builder. That line makes me nervous because I feel like that's the side I want to take. That's my gut, so that's why I would stay away from that. That's why I stayed away from that.
Yeah, and divisional rivalry. They're both same record, same division, home team. It makes sense to take the Chiefs just because of that, but no, I'm a believer in the Chargers right now. They're hot.
All right.
So that was my Saturday. We already talked about my Monday. I've got a Sunday game here for you.
You got one from each, huh?
One of each, spreading it out. That way, if the first two lose, you still have Monday night where you can load up.
Tickle your nuts.
Win your bet back. Sunday night, Dallas -3 at Oakland. Here's some more against the spread numbers for you. Oakland 4-8-1 against the line this year. Facing a desperate Cowboys team, need a win to stay alive in the playoffs. I think I read that they have like a 5 or 6% chance of making the playoffs, so obviously they need this game. Dallas went on that 3-game streak after they lost Zeke, where they went 0-3 straight up and against the spread. Since then, 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the spread, outscoring opponents 68-24. They've been on a little bit of a heater as well. They're getting Zeke back. As long as this game stays under the 3.5, I don't want the hook. I will take the Cowboys here at Oakland, a struggling Oakland.
Let me see here. Zeke's not back this week, is he?
Next.
You just mentioned that. It's next week, right? God, I kept thinking it was this next week. I thought Rodgers and Zeke were coming back in the same week, so I kept getting confused there.
No, they spread them out.
Fucking -3 Sunday night. I don't like the numbers. I'm not a big stat guy. I hate those numbers you put up there. I'm just trying to think right now off the top of my head, so I'm just going to keep rambling because I can talk. But the fact that I have to think about it this much is just
a hard
reason
pass.
enough.
How about you just say you don't like the game and move on to
Yeah,
yours?
It's just reason. It's reason enough for me not to.
There you go.
I'm trying to give some actual analysis on it, but it's reason enough for me not to touch it.
That took
Don't
so
yell at
long.
me. It's
That took so long for you to just say that you wanted to pass and you didn't want to bet on it.
Yeah, you know what? I want to drag this out because it's our 100th episode. I'm excited. I just want to try to give better analysis than your mom.
There you go. Nothing. All right, what's your third pick here? Green Bay Packers?
Whoa. Settle down. Yep, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Spoiler.
Green Bay Packers +3 at Carolina. Come on! This spread went from 6.5 to 3 points in overnight till Aaron Rodgers comes back. What kind of fucking idiot are you?
Idiot.
Every fucking dime you have on Green Bay in this game. Aaron Rodgers is back. This team's destined. Goddamn year. He said they were going to run the table last year. They did. These last 3 games to make the playoffs. There's no.
You got to calm down
chance.
because you're getting super choppy whenever you wiggle around.
So, Rodgers, there's no chance that Rodgers comes into this game and loses. If you're outside the states of the Carolinas, 100% of bets should be on Green Bay. 100% of them. If you're stupid, if you don't bet on Green Bay in this game, Rodgers is going to win this. They're going to win this game. This is just what's going to happen. This is what the Green Bay Packers do. They trick you to putting them into your bucket where you think they're not going to make the playoffs.
That's true.
As soon as you put them in, they win a couple of stupid games, damn near beat Pittsburgh, and then they got to score 3-0 at the end of the year, and they make the playoffs and make a run towards the Super Bowl because Carson Wentz is hurt.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that. I was actually kind of surprised to see the line still where it is. The fact that, what are you getting, a field goal?
A field goal.
Yeah, I mean, as long as that you're getting points in this game. I legit thought that for a little while there the Packers would be favored. If Rodgers would have played all year, they're probably favored in this game, right? It's just kind of the unknown of how he'll perform.
It was plus 6.5 going into the game, and just overnight when Rodgers announces back, it drops to 3 like that. So that means they'd be even neutral field,
right?
Probably, and Green Bay'd be favored by 3 at home against them.
That is true. I just think, if Rodgers is playing all year, Green Bay's favored in this game, even at Carolina.
I think the only reason it's 3 points is because Vegas doesn't even know what the fuck to expect.
They don't. That's the unknown.
Is he going to come out like Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to be not rusty, but maybe not on the same page?
And it's a kind of game. Yeah, it's that kind of game where you can maybe take advantage of that a little bit because they don't know. We haven't seen him play. Yeah, he's got to bank on him being old Rodgers. You never know.
I fully expect them to run a play action and throw the ball 70 yards on his first play.
To Jordy Nelson for a touchdown, and
Jordy Nelson's too fucking slow.
Jordy Nelson is going to match his fantasy production in one game here with Rodgers that he did the entire time with Hundley.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't break his hip.
Just because he's old, getting off the bus.
Oldest goddamn wide receiver in America.
Not even that old.
Right now. I was discussing this with some other Packer fans. This fucking guy, they were so focused on getting him involved, they forget Devontae at the beginning. Not forget, they just ignore him, thinking they can get Jordy involved. So they run these little plays with him, and as soon as he catches it, he's so slow that he can't make a move. So he's just you can see his thought process is fuck it, I'm just going to try to run into this guy and see how many yards I can get.
Yeah.
Because his moves are so slowly developed. That's why you can see why he's not getting open when he catches the ball, because he has no agility. It's just not there.
There's no separation. That injury's affected him. That's for sure.
He's just old and white, and it happens.
You're talking about him being old, and I was thinking about that today. We're to the point in the age right now.
29.
Right, he's not even that old. But is there any guys in the NFL that you don't even remember being in college? As long as you've known the NFL, you've known that guy. The only guy that I can think of is Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah,
there used to
be kickers and punters, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's none of those guys anymore. That just kind of hit me recently. That wow.
I'm trying to think. There's got to be Darren Sproles.
I remember Sproles in college.
I don't.
He played with a really good, a dual threat quarterback.
Oh no, Jordy is 32 years old.
Damn.
I didn't realize
same college as Sproles. But yeah, think about that for a little while. See if you can think of another player.
I do remember him in college. I lied.
Yeah. So, anything else for you against the spread pickets, or should we move on?
No.
All right, playoff bucket challenge. I have officially tied it up because I'm throwing some teams in that bucket. Nice. Beer burp, number 1. I put in both the Raiders and Cowboys this week. With the Raiders, there's just too many teams with a similar record in that conference, and they're way too inconsistent. I don't think they have a chance anymore. They're in my bucket. And the Cowboys, they just beat the Giants. They already have 6 losses, though, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe this was the team I should have dumped instead of dumping the Packers when I put them in. It's going to end up killing me, I think. Mm-hmm. You have anyone that you're going to add?
Nobody. I was looking through all the teams last night, and I was like, I can't. I wanted to pull the trigger on the Raiders. I just can't do it. I like them. I know they're not going to make it, but I'm still scared. That
NFC wild card position is killing me. I have so many teams
left. I know,
left.
Isn't that so tough?
I just don't know which one to put in. Nice. Let's move on to some daily fantasy sports picks. Stacks, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, you name it, we got it. Do you want to start?
No, you go. I only have a super stack right away. So.
All right, stack of the week. I'm going with the Cowboys here. Liked him in my against the spread pick, and I'm going with the Dak Prescott, Dez Bryant stack. Prescott 7,800. Bryant's cheap, 7,000 at Oakland. Dez is catching a lot of flack. He's been catching flack over the last couple of years. Flack with Dak.
Yeah.
He's just not having the breakout games, and I think that's why he's catching flack from fantasy people. But he's fairly consistent, averaging over double digits this year, including back-to-back 15-point games the last 2 weeks. Oakland's just 25th versus the pass. We saw Dak kind of snap out of his funk a little bit last week. Over 330 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Plus, he's always that threat to run. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns this year. Just kind of think that these are fairly decent bargain plays, and it's my stack. Dak's the 9th most expensive quarterback. Dez is the 22nd most expensive receiver. So This is my stack, and I'm going to consider it a bargain stack for kind of both players.
They have Dallas, Oakland. Obviously it's pretty good. Pretty good one. They haven't really hooked up much this year. They finally had a breakout game. As you said, this last week, but I don't know. Is that one breakout game going to be like what you think it's going to be, or is it going to be a whole bunch of people jumping on Dak and Dez and not getting the results they want?
It might be. It might be, but it's a bad opponent, and it's the last week before Zeke.
You're a bad opponent.
It's the last week before Zeke. You're going to air it out.
Okay.
Cough button.
God damn it.
Oh, I can't say it. I got to push it.
Yeah, you fuckers. Me?
Yeah.
All right. My sleeper stack of the week. You're going to like this one.
Can't wait.
It's Marcus Mariota.
Oh, what are you doing?
70.
You're burning your money.
7,600 at San Francisco.
Ooh.
And Corey Davis, 5,500 at San Francisco.
I do
This
love
is
it on
my
paper.
theory, right? I'm going to go all in this week with them.
Nice.
15. Fuck it. Fuck it. This is my last week of school. They should be sucking on my balls.
I was drinking when you said that. You kind of
That's a
warned
super
me.
bad line, so fuck you guys. That's amazing. So this is the week. This is the week. It has to be. These two have to finally hook up. We've been waiting for it, right? You've been calling for it every week.
I've said it about 7 times.
I've told you not to do it every time. This week it's going to happen because I'm smarter than you. That's what it is. I'm the talent. You're just the watcher. Still in line for the division. And if they can't do it this week against a terrible San Francisco defense, I just don't know where I would stand with Mariota forever.
Right.
Like if they can't do it, if he can't do something against San Francisco, I don't know what. I think I'm done with him mentally, forever.
Yeah, like you
I just
said,
won't be able to trust him.
this has to be the week. Like you said, we've said that a million times. All the pressure's on.
Divisions on, you still got to stay in that division race. That's the only way you're making the fucking playoffs. It seems like at this point, you have to win this game.
I thought the same thing last week, though. That was kind of
this is San Francisco.
Yeah, that's true. But Arizona's not a powerhouse by any means.
Way worse.
Their defense is playing worse, but the Titans scored 1 touchdown last week, and it was not via Mariota. So
yeah, I know he sucks.
Scares me, but you're buying low. You're buying low. It's a freaking bargain and a half.
Yeah, I'm getting 5,500 with Corey Davis, baby.
Oh my gosh, yeah, literally. Get an 8-yard touchdown, and you got your money's worth out of that.
Who died here?
I don't know. I just see a lot of players kneeling.
Somebody's dead.
I didn't catch what happened there. Let's talk some
I didn't see it either.
Let's talk some quarterbacks. Hypothetical.
That's my quarterback.
You got Russell Wilson, $8,400 versus the Rams, or you can have Phillip Rivers.
Oh, give me a break. This is easy.
$8,300 at the Chiefs. Well, tell me what it is then.
Phillip Rivers all day, every day. Kidding me?
He's even cheaper.
Russell Wilson has got no offensive line, no running game. He's getting pressured. Just 3 interceptions. Against a pretty good pass defense this last week. It's gonna be the same fucking thing this week. It's gonna be fucking Aaron Donald, fucking Robert Quinn, getting at him, chasing him down. He's one of the guys that can actually run him down when he's trying to run around in circles. So is Aaron Donald because he gets off the line so goddamn fast. And Rivers against a terrible Kansas City pass defense, I don't think this is even a thought. I would not touch Russell Wilson, especially if you have that option.
I like both of these as plays. That's why I asked. Wilson, 4 weeks ago, had a 31-point game, and then since then, the last 3 weeks, basically all were 24-point performances. That's a good play from a FanDuel quarterback. And two of those last
garbage time.
Yeah, no,
Blake Bortles.
No, 2 of those last 3 games were against the 2nd and 4th ranked pass defenses.
Yeah, but last week it was all in prevent defense in the 4th goddamn quarter.
Yeah, well, you stick up for Bortles, so I'll stick up for Wilson. On the other hand, like you said about Rivers, though, he's going against the 28th ranked pass defense. 3 straight 300-yard passing games. This kind of shocked me this year. 23 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions. He's not having to force throws late in games. Yeah, he's not forcing throws late in games. We are all over each other today. We're just talking on each other.
I like it. I love on each other.
Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of with you there. So what's your quarterback conundrum?
I don't have one. I told you, this is every week.
Oh, yeah. We've only done this 100 times, dude.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Give me a few times. Let's talk running back then.
That's my running back. All right.
You can say that for any position.
I'm going to go with running back, university running back, Rex Burkhead. $6,500. I'm going bargain. I don't know. I said this last week. I don't know if you listened last week. I'm doing bargain guys at each position. I'm going. Rex Burkhead has $6,500 at Pittsburgh. I guess I just don't understand how he's only $6,500 at this point. He's put up a couple of great weeks in a row, a few of them. Pittsburgh's been struggling against the run since Ryan Shazier went out this last week. I mean, Alex Collins just gashed them this last week.
Yeah.
And Rex Burkhead is not. I mean, not only is the guy, he's not only just scoring touchdowns for them. Like he's their goal line running back at this point, right?
Right.
And he catches the ball a bunch.
Like he's getting the catches
like a
too.
slot guy.
They don't they don't even really use Deion Lewis as much in the passing game now. Like
exactly, and he's so fucking good. This is my theory. I honestly think that maybe Belichick is the most racist motherfucker out there. He's just a white Belichick guy that Belichick likes because he's white. Like that's all it comes down to.
Rex Burkhead was nothing in Cincinnati. He was literally.
And there's no reason not to use Deion Lewis all the time because he's so fucking good when he has the ball. But yet, Rex Burkhead scoring all the touchdowns. Being used in the passing game, I just don't get it. So, Rex Burkhead 6,500, I feel like it's a steal.
Yeah, I think he's a better play than Lewis right now. Like you said, I mean, Lewis is getting the carries, and that's good. Obviously, you want the touches. But if you're getting the half PPR, and Burkhead seems to be getting all the touchdowns right now, that's the better play because they're always around the same price.
That and this feels like one of those games where Belichick is going to abandon the pass. Just because I think he wants to just keep the combination of Roethlisberger, how good Le'Veon Bell is playing, and Antonio Brown off the field. So he's just going to run it like one game every year. He pretends like Tom Brady can't throw the ball.
Right.
He just runs it 45 times. I think that's this game.
Right, and the running back will run for 4 touchdowns or whatever that one dude was. And it works, yeah. And then the next week he won't even get a carry.
Yep, not one fucking carry.
Let's talk about the other running back in the opposing team. What is your realistic prediction for Le'Veon Bell? He's most expensive. He's $9,400 after his 35-point fantasy game last week.
Week, I mean, it's a minimum of 20 points every week for this guy. So, I mean, he scores at least 20 points. It's a guarantee. It's just what he does. You can't, especially even this New England defense can't. You can blanket a wide receiver and take him out of the equation, but you can't blanket a running back who has the ability to catch the ball and stand in the goddamn hole for 45 minutes and then find a hole. Like, he has the ability to do so much. You can't like game plan. You just have to. I mean, you're gonna have to. Like, he's a guy. If he doesn't get paid his goddamn money this year,
right,
they're fucked because they can't win without him. Antonio Brown, people are saying it should be the MVP. No, when Le'Veon Bell's not there, they are garbage. They are so bad.
And the thing, too, with New England is, like, this is probably, like, the weakest that their front seven has been in a few years. So Bell's literally going to stand there for 7 seconds, wait for everyone to run by him, pick a hole, and just go. Like, he's basically averaging 20 fantasy points a game.
And I sometimes think that the defense gets so tired of, like, moving when he's standing there, or they just think that, he must be tackled already. And so they stop, and then he's like, no, I'm running.
I think they should just stay there and wait.
They should. Everybody should just stand there and see what happens.
Stalemate, they just wait.
Everybody's just frozen, just standing there. We're like, wait, what's going on? This is not football.
I vote for that. That'd be like the defensive version of like the Wildcat.
The refs blow the whistle.
And the dude, he's such a factor in the passing game. The last 3 weeks, he's had 26 catches. That's receiver stats.
He's good.
And New England's just been kind of struggling. 29th versus the pass, 24th versus the run. I think I'm with you. I think he'll be right around like 25 fantasy points.
Yeah.
My next one was Kareem Hunt. He's $7,400. Does he back up his 21 fantasy point performance versus Oakland? Last week was 21 points against Oakland. This week he plays the Chargers. $7,400. Does he back up that performance?
I thought you were going to have another
mini stroke.
What was it there? Like a stroke or a brain freeze or the fuck happened to you.
I'm done with that.
I thought it was it. The hangover was hitting you and you just froze again. I think he has to. It's one of the worst run defenses in football. Yeah. So if he's going to have back-to-back performances like that, he should have it this week, and you'd think Andy Reid knows that. I mean, you're a fucking coach, so he definitely knows it. So you have to expect him to put up. There it was.
Yep, there's the beer bird.
Put up another performance. You got to expect him to put up another pretty solid performance. He's been so. Like, what do you do with him next year when you're drafting?
I think you got to take him just because he's the sheer volume guy.
Is he even going to be like I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, he's one of those rare guys, and I mean, God, he had so many great breakout performances.
For like 5 weeks.
But yeah, then he had a cold spell. But yeah, I mean, and I think he's going to get better.
On this cold spell ever.
He's going to have an off season of training, getting better in the system. Just I don't know. He's probably a top 5 guy. I think.
God, I'd be nervous.
Yeah. You touched on the Chargers defense.
I've never touched on the Chargers defense.
You should start. They're 11th overall, but just 29th versus the run. So, like you said, if the Chiefs want to compete in this game, they're going to have to go through Hunt. So, if you believe in the Chiefs, which you kind of did because you weren't really sold on my Chargers against the spread pick, I think he's a good play for you. I think he could back it up this week.
Yep.
Do you have any other running backs you want to talk about?
Nope.
I have one bargain guy.
All right. Oh, God.
Jay Train Ajayi. $6,100 at the Giants as DJ passes off of his seat. Giants suck. 31st versus the run. Eagles are going to rely a little bit more on the run now that Wentz is
All
out.
of their running backs.
All 28 of their running backs.
Yeah.
Ajayi saw his most carries as an Eagle last week. He's had double digits 2 out of the 5 games with the team. I'd be willing to bet they're going to rely on him a little bit more, and you're going against the terrible run defense. I think this could be his breakout game.
How come you're allowed to say as an Eagle and not as an Eagles when I say I went to the Eagle game?
Okay, so just to clarify on this, I am a big believer that when you talk about football teams or teams in general, you always say the S because there's no such thing as a Philadelphia Eagle. There's not an Eagle. It's the Eagles. But if he is a member of the team, yes, then he is an Eagle. But the Eagle doesn't play the Chiefs. The Eagles play the Chiefs.
The team is a combination of, it's just one. It's one, like the whole thing for football is like the team is one as a whole. So it's the Eagle, it's the Eagle team.
So that's the coach speak version of vocabulary right there. That's not how English dictionary works though. Not dictionary, but like language.
It is though.
No, you're wrong on this. Feel free to let us know on Twitter @LoadedBox if you think that I am right and DJ's an idiot because you're just lying to like English teachers.
It's no, because then you would say no, you can't say that.
We have been debating this for like 18 years.
Yeah, and you said you're supposed to say RBI when you're still supposed to say RBI. You admitted that loss.
No, I never say the S.
Yes, you did admit that loss though. I remember you doing it. So fuck off.
It's become accepted. It's still not right. It's just become accepted.
RBI is not become accepted. It was always how you said it. RBI has become accepted, maybe.
Runs batted ends. Yep, runs batted ends. That's great.
Yeah. No, that's not. Okay, if that's how you think that it works, then you're way off. Next.
Okay. Wide receiver. Let's talk Josh Gordon.
Talk about him.
He bumped up to the 9th most expensive wide receiver in just a matter of 3 weeks. He's now $7,500. He was consistently for those first 2 weeks in that like $5,000-$6,000 range. First game, he had 80-some yards. Second game last week, he had a touchdown. Now he plays Baltimore, who just gave up over 500 passing yards to Big Ben. What are your thoughts on Josh Gordon?
Oh, Mr. Gordon. Well, let's think about this. They're gonna throw him the ball, and he's an excellent wide receiver who should end up on the Green Bay Packers next year.
Yeah, he should go somewhere good. If he went to New England, he'd put up 3,000 receiving yards.
Who do they play? Baltimore.
Baltimore.
That's tough though.
Baltimore minus Jimmy Smith.
It's crazy because they've been played so fucking well defensively, and like Pittsburgh just went off on them mostly due to Le'Veon Bell. And I just don't think the Cleveland has that, so I'm a lot more hesitant because of the ability to run the ball or their commitment to running the ball.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, I'm a lot more hesitant on Gordon, seeing as they're probably like, oh, this is the one guy we can focus on. We're in a playoff run. I'm not scared of anything else. Fucking Deshaun Kaiser. He threw 2 interceptions, one of which was the dumbest of all time against the Green Bay Packers at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they basically didn't score at all. And he had a wide open guy like running around. He just started running around like a fucking idiot.
The 15-yard Hail Mary that went 100 yards into the air.
Well, he got hit as he threw it.
He did. But it was a terrible decision to even throw that ball.
Well, I don't know why he just started running around for no fucking reason. When he had I don't know if you saw the videotape, but he had a guy who was absolutely right around uncovered in the first 1 second of that play.
Really?
Like right away, immediately.
I did not see that.
Right down the left sideline.
Jeez.
And he starts running right and then turns around and starts running and then he just rolls the throw to nobody. I don't know what he should have just taken the sack.
Yeah.
But that's why I would not take Gordon.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether or not that's a smart play. I mean, he got that's such a big price increase. But I'm going to use that term that you like so much. I think it's a fair price point. I really do.
Fuck right off.
Baltimore's pass D was really good to start the year. They've dropped to 13th
It's
though.
the Browns.
I know, but they dropped to 13th after that huge 500-yard game against the Rams or the Steelers. And yeah, I know it's the Browns, but it's still Josh Gordon, man. I don't know.
No,
He's
it's
a
not.
freak.
It's the Browns.
What do you think? Let's move on. What do you think about pairing Keenan Allen with your boy Phillip Rivers? Keenan Allen's expensive. He's $8,800 now because he's been fucking
You
great.
can afford that shit, man. You gotta do it. Keenan Allen's the man. Like he's the fucking. He had that 51-yard catch where he landed just short of the goal line, which lost me my playoff game last week. So I'm a little bitter about that. But 111 yards, bunch of catches, like always. Should have had a touchdown. He's such a good route runner, and he's always gonna find holes. And anytime whether you cover a man-to-man, he's gonna beat you. If you run a zone, he's gonna find a hole. He's one of those guys that it seems like he's gotten more confidence in himself as the game goes on because it seems like he's gotten faster throughout the year.
Yeah.
Than what I remember him looking like at the beginning of the year. He looked just so hesitant. Now he's confident and he's balling again. And I can see why Mitchell Renz, shout out, predict him to be the number 1 wide receiver in all fantasy football ahead of the season because he looks like the best. Honestly, right now, the best wide receiver, like the top wide receiver in fantasy football.
Yeah, I think you just gave him a new nickname, Keenan the Hole Finder. He seems to fit him really well. But yeah, that 4-game tear that he's on, he's averaging nearly 25 fantasy points during that. He's getting over 12 targets per game. Great volume play, and like you said, he's expensive. But geez, if you used Rivers this week, it's an expensive pairing, but it's a good pairing. I like it.
Yeah, I love him.
Chalk. Is this the week DeAndre Hopkins stops dominating? He's $8,200 at the Jags, top-ranked pass defense. They played week 1, but these teams are totally different. Week 1 is literally nothing at this point. Just to give you the numbers, though, he had 7 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. So he did have 15 fantasy points. But is this the week that he stops dominating finally?
I mean, yeah, it has to be, right? There's no way Jalen Ramsey doesn't chase him around.
Shots
all
fired.
fucking day and shut his ass down. And literally just all over his ass, Jalen. Will be all over his ass. I'm just telling you right now, he loves those, just ride those asses so much. There's no chance.
He does.
He's just the best cornerback. That's the reason he's the best cornerback. He just rides these asses so tight they don't have a chance to get open. So I think he does the same thing with DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to be riding that ass.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah, $8,200 is too expensive for a wide receiver against the Jags, too. God, I hope everyone picked up on what you were going with there. That was fantastic. What receivers are on your bargain list
Wide
here?
receiver. Well, besides Corey Davis,
You have anyone else?
I got Robert Woods, 6,700 at Seattle. Everybody hears, Seattle. Like right away, right when I said that, everybody's like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Everybody hears Seattle, sees Seattle's defense, and like, I'm scared to play this guy because it's Seattle. They have the Legion of Boom. Seattle got torched by, and let me say this for you guys really quickly, Blake Bortles.
Blake, the train wreck Bortles.
Bortles just torched Seattle's defense this last week. He picked them apart, along with like the running game on top of it. And the Rams, I almost call them St. Louis, LA Rams, have the ability to do the same thing that Jacksonville did. Not as good as the defense. Seattle still
good one.
Not as good as the defense, but Seattle still has the same offensive line. I was saying what I sorry. Rewind. Seattle got torched by Blake Bortles. Blah blah blah. Woods, who is golf's favorite target, is back. Don't forget that he is golf's favorite target, and he's back. So I think he should pick apart this awful Seahawks secondary that sits in zone, and he has the ability to find holes in those zones. I think that's one of his strengths as well. He's really good possession receiver. They have quite a few possession receivers on that team. You know, it's
right.
Cooper Kupp, it's Robert Woods. Robert Woods seems to be the top one. And then Sammy Watkins is the guy that kind of is going to be the one to take the top off a little bit. So he actually might have a big play in this game with those. But I like Robert Woods coming back and people forgetting about him.
Yeah, I think we have a new name. I think it's Robert, the Whole Finder Woods.
There we go again.
But yeah, that's a decent play. What did you say his price was again? He was $6,700. That seems about right for a guy coming back from injury. You don't.
Shoulder injury, yeah.
That's the thing about him. I mean, you almost kind of want to make him prove it for a week, but if you use him and he hits, yeah, it ends up being a good play because it's a bargain and because people are probably scared of using a guy like that. So yeah, I'm not opposed to Robert, the Hole Finder. There, it's not a bad play. What? Yes, perfect. I like that one better than your other Hole Finder, Keenan Allen.
You gave him the name.
You gave him the name. Who's your bargain tight end this week?
So I was looking at the tight ends, and I legit, you know how I feel about tight ends, right? If you listen to me, you guys know how I feel.
Dude, you've been hitting tight ends though, and did you take a second to tell how good you did last week with your daily fantasy guys? You stacked freaking Adams and Hundley bargain plays, and that actually worked really well. You had some other ones too. I forgot who they were now, but you had a pretty good week last week.
Winners just win. Yeah, I was feeling it. That was probably the best sleeper stack I've had so far. That was the biggest sleeper stack I've had this far.
Yeah.
This week's going to be the biggest. I think it'll be bigger than that Devontae and Hunt with the Corey Davis and Mariota the way they've been playing. But
they basically. I was going to say they basically put money back into your budget when you picked a guy like Hundley. That's how cheap he was.
So,
all right, tight end.
I was looking at the tight ends this week, and I just got pissed.
Oh, yeah, me too.
They look. I don't like any of the matchups. They all look like garbage. So I go on tight ends. That's all I'm going to say. The cheapest I go on tight end this week is Evan Ingram, 6,300 at Philadelphia. I'm not going lower.
Not going lower than Evan Ingram, and he was 6,300.
If I have the budget, yeah, that's the lowest I'm going. Otherwise, I'm taking a shot in the dark.
Yeah. I had a bargain guy.
Garrett Selleck, maybe. Garrett Selleck. The way that Garoppolo likes him, that's about it.
Yeah, I considered that as well, but then I'm like, it's Garrett Selleck, man. Like, I don't want to use a roster spot on him, I don't think.
Right?
I had a bargain guy as well. It was Ricky Seals-Jones. You always like ASJ? Well, I'm going RSJ.
Yeah.
5,300 at your Redskis. Last two games, he's combined for just 3 catches. Redskins kind of struggle against tight ends, though.
Their name change, the Hoax.
Wait, Hoax? They did a hoax?
Yeah, so, they made a fake. So, some Native American made this fake, what kind of account was it? It was a parody account, but it looked like the actual thing, and people believed it, saying they changed their name to the Red Hawks, and I guess it went viral on Twitter. I missed it. You clearly missed it.
Yeah,
but everybody thought, some verified people and a whole bunch of people thought they actually changed their name to the Red Hawks. So that happened this week.
Totally missed that. Drinking last night.
So did I. I was at the Badger game.
Badgers game.
Yeah. Badger game.
I just like RSJ this week, man. Like I said, Washington struggling against tight ends. He combined for 3 touchdowns in the 2 games prior to his last 2 games. So he's been on a little bit of a cold streak here, but I think this is kind of his week to bounce back, and people aren't going to be using him. His price point dropped. I like RSJ. I'm going to go RSJ here.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other daily fantasy guys that you want to hit on?
That's all I got.
All right. All right, let's hit up a quick fantasy football listener question. They can come through any sort of medium that you want to ask us, but this one was from Twitter. Hit us up.
Or extra large that you want to ask us as well.
Extra large?
Medium?
Oh, yes. Man, I hate the word medium. I'm not the guy that would ever say medium. Why would I say that?
Why does medium have so many definitions? Like medium as in a place that you can, a platform that you can ask us. Medium as a size, and then the Long Island medium as in somebody who can talk to 10 people. I guess that's still kind of somebody who can talk. I guess that's kind of the same.
Well, and temperature of food, like a steak.
Yeah.
The middle of something.
I hate the English language. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the most complex language there is. It's such stupid things.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, especially when you start getting into the letter S on team names. It's fucking wild.
Right? We've been arguing language all fucking day. Next week on
The lo-
fucking English with Ben and DJ. Grammar.
Episode 101 is going to be all grammar. Ooh, Grammar 101, we can call it. We got a name for it already. Keenan.
Nice. That was pretty good. I'll
Yep.
give you that one.
Keenan finding holes,
Next,
Allen.
like our next episode is going to be our only grammar, and it's only going to be Grammar 101 just because it's episode 101, and that's it. And we'll never do grammar again.
Then we'll never touch on these subjects again. God.
Correct.
All right, this one came on Twitter, @LoadedBox. Choose a flex in a half PPR league. You've got Lamar Miller versus the Jags, Cooper Kupp versus the Seahawks, Marquise Lee versus the Texans,
Keys.
Gore versus the Broncos.
Frank.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that one. That one's not a realistic option already because that passed. Or Mike Davis
Make.
versus the Rams. This is where DJ has to go back and read it all because he can't just hear things and
I
process
remember
them.
it all, but this is like almost impossible. Well, let's roll out Gore because I'm hoping that person's not playing right now. Even though I hope they haven't played him and we are answering the question right now. I don't want to play. I don't want to play Mike Davis because I just hate Seattle.
Agreed.
Fuck! I gotta go Cooper Kupp.
Ooh, Cooper Kupp versus
that Seattle secondary is so fucking bad. Jacksonville's one of the best against the fucking run. I think the Rams are gonna just throw the ball around because I think the weakness right now for the Seahawks is it seems to be their secondary. I think the focus on Todd Gurley a little bit more. Cooper Kupp's gonna find his holes in that zone as well.
Cooper
But
finding
the
holes.
Robert Woods
Kupp.
back thing makes me nervous, so it's hard. I just don't like Miller against Jacksonville, so I would take a flyer on Kupp.
I was between the two, and actually, I'm going to go with Miller. I think you're a little bit wrong on that Jags D. They're awesome against the pass. They're not as good against the run.
They're pretty damn good against the run.
If they have a weakness on defense, though, it is against the run.
Aren't they like one of the top 5 run defenses in the league?
Nope. Go to your website.
Sure? Oh, I'll look.
And the thing I like about Miller, too, is I honestly don't think that there's a chance that the Houston Texans should even throw a pass in this game. Whoever the quarterback is, if it's Savage, if it's Yates, if it's frickin' Warren Moon, like, don't even try to pass. This should be your strategy. You give the ball to Lamar Miller 43 times and see if you can win the game. Are you looking that up?
Yeah, I actually am right now. Did you hear me typing?
Yeah, I figured as much.
When you went like silent, did you hear it on the thing?
Sorry, I forgot my cough button again.
Yeah, you still get it.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna sing a song.
Okay, yeah, they are 20 seconds.
Yeah. So
Well, that's just yards total, yeah.
yeah, it's not fantasy points. It's probably yards against.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Miller. You're gonna go Kupp. So there's our 2 cents. It's which one do you want to listen to?
Correct.
Are you ready for the segment that's making its triumphant return
Finally.
on the 100th edition of the Loaded Box podcast?
Yep.
DJ says finally. It's hashtag shit's gotta go. It's coming back and it's coming back strong. All right. Here. Oh, we jinxed that one. All right. The shit that's gotta go this week. Old people driving around. Oh wow, what did I just say? I still got the word around there. Let me start over.
Whatever that means.
Old people driving around with their dog on their lap. Old people, you already suck at driving. You don't need this hairy thing that has a mind of its own, distracting both you and your vision. This is my
How big is this dog?
This is all sizes. I've seen all sizes. It's been happening so often recently. This is my my announcement to you. You leave that damn thing at home, or you put it in the back seat. And if your excuse is that, oh, I have it in the back and then it climbs to the front, you kennel that fucking thing. You put that thing in the back or you put it in a kennel. The next time I see a dog in the driver's seat on top of an old person's lap, I am rolling down my window and I am waving dog treats at it in hopes that that thing jumps out of your window and then it gets run over.
Don't ever talk like a dog. No.
I love dogs. I love dogs. Love dogs.
Just because your dog had to go to sleep and then went for a walk one day.
I love dogs. I don't want them distracting old people that are driving. Right, dogs for old people driving is young people texting. That's their version.
Well, you text all the time, though.
Yeah, but I don't have my dog in my lap while I'm doing it.
Well, you just made the comparison, though.
All right, well, that can be your next week. Shit's got to go.
All right, fucker.
Nice. All right, so that made a triumphant return. Let's go to bold predictions. Week 15. Let's hear it.
I say, I kind of already made the prediction, but fuck it. Rams beat the Seahawks, all but eliminating them from the playoffs this week.
I like it. I'm hoping that kind of works. Mine is that Cleveland spoils the defeated season. They're having a parade being planned for them. If they go defeated this year, they're going to spoil that. Unfortunately, they're going to end up beating the Ravens. I'm upset about it.
Way.
Yep, bold prediction.
No way they beat the Ravens.
I sure hope not, but I don't know. The Ravens are legit like a wild card contender. They're in it, but
I mean, in the NFC, yeah.
they got to fail. Their remaining schedule is too easy.
I mean, if they're in the NFC, they'd be like fucking 5 games out of the
If they were in the NFC, they'd be mathematically eliminated already.
They wouldn't be right now. Man.
Nice. Do you want to add anything else to this 100th episode of the LBP?
Disappointed that we couldn't have like a guest or something.
Well, we could have. We just didn't ask.
Yeah, you were too busy getting fired from your job.
I was too busy. I actually did reach out to Miko Grimes. She didn't say anything bad.
Miko,
we need you.
Yeah, you're not. She doesn't like. I'm assuming she saw that you were white, and that's where you lost her.
You might need to reach out.
I should reach out to her.
Episode 102. So episode 101 is going to be 101 Grammar 101.
169 with Miko.
Oh, yep, perfect. Done. Thank you for listening. As always, tweet any questions you have that you'd like answered on the podcast. We're on Twitter at Loaded Box. Like and share the Facebook page. Tune in on Sunday for the Week 15 Instant Reactions podcast. Available on iTunes. Search Loaded Box. Give us a review. We'll read the funny ones. Other than that, thanks for listening to all 100 episodes. If this is your first time listening, go back and listen to the other 99. They're just as good. That's all I got. DJ, send us out.
Bye.
How long can you do this for? Oh, man.